Hello, it's Dirty Trucking. Oh man, 8 p.m. here, out here in Macomb County. Had to make a stop at one of our favorite locations, which is Walmart. Okay, as by now some of you all have seen the videos I posted, I had the pleasure to attend a rally yesterday that was by President Barack Obama, campaigning for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz as our future president. Okay, what I want to get into today is some takeaways I got about that rally. The rally was wonderful. I've never attended one before. I loved it. I loved everything I heard. But I want to mention, they always mention the UAW in these rallies. That's a given. Every rally, they always mentioning the United Auto Workers. Man, and you all know my personal feelings about the UAW. And most would say I'm saying this because of what happened to me at Warren Truck Plant, how my union did me. Perhaps, but no. I worked in the plant. I was a UAW member. But what I want to say is here, and with this campaigning, and I hope this video reaches Kamala Harris and Tim Walz while they're campaigning. Because I want you to know that the backbone of America is not the UAW. The backbone of this economy is not the UAW. It's not a plant. It's not a union. It's not a business. It's not even a government. The backbone of America and the current and the economy is truckers. Once again, the backbone of America and this economy is truckers. It's not the people spending money. The people spending money contributes to the economy. But if you don't have anything to spend your money on, there's no economy. Where are you getting this stuff from? It's truckers. There would be no need for a UAW because there would be no auto plant because they wouldn't have shit to build their autos. Why? Because a trucker didn't bring it. Truckers bring everything from the smallest item that you think is insignificant came on somebody's truck. The house you live in was built off of items delivered by a trucker. The trucking industry is vast. We talking flatbeds. We talking dry van, which was me. Reefer, I've driven that briefly. We got tankers. Where you think there would be no gas stations without gas? What do you think the gas? How are they getting gas for the gas station? Thank a tanker driver. Wood to build. Wood for your houses. Wood for everything. Thank a flatbed driver. Bricks, steel, beams for construction sites. Thank a flatbed driver. Dry van, goods to stock your shelves at Walmart and Target and CVS and Walgreens and the McDonald's and those reefers there. Walgreens and Target, that's dry van. Thank a trucker. you're welcome, because that's what I am. I was a trucker. I retired out of the industry last year because I got tired of the nonsense that was going on. I got tired of being stressed out, and I got tired of ending up in debt over a career that I loved and I'm good at. I was a hellified driver out there. But I want Kamala Harris to know that it is No Day campaign often mentioned UAW workers. They are not the backbone of this economy. Yes, union members need their protection. But what about the truckers? I haven't heard anything mentioned about truckers. What can you do for truckers? I heard, and I love President Barack Obama. I love you. I came out to see you yesterday. I came out to support your campaign for Kamala Harris, and I did vote for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. You have my utmost support. I think she is the best choice, the right choice, and the only choice to move the United States in the direction it needs to go. She understands what needs to be done, what the problems are, that is reason why we don't have money in our pocket. She's the only choice. And lo and behold, truckers voted for Trump when he was in the office. Truckers, they wanted Trump. Truckers wanted Trump. I didn't vote for Trump when I was out there because I knew he wasn't going to do anything for truckers. He didn't do anything. When that pandemic hit, all he did was gave us the rights to run over our hours to get these stores and make sure the shelves were stocked. And unfortunately, due to U.S. Express terminated me during the height of the pandemic, I would have still been out there rolling with you. But you can thank U.S. Express in Pennsylvania for that. They were responsible for me not owning my truck. They were my last opportunity to own a truck. They were responsible for me not being a trucker today, amongst other things that has happened in the industry. But I want to let Kamala Harris know. The truckers would like to know what the president could do for them. I would like to see some things done for the truckers. I've been in that industry, and I've been in it long enough to know the vast majority of the problems in that industry. One, to get ripped off through the contract, especially if you're independent like me. I was independent out there. A lot of those trucking companies I signed on to were taking my rights away as being independent by writing stuff into their contract, making us sign, and taking control over things that we should have had control over as being independent, like our maintenance account, for instance. Companies taking over our maintenance accounts just because we signed on with them to be independent. And then they were using my maintenance account to fix up fleets of trucks and had me asking permission to use my own maintenance account, and terminated me when I demanded I needed my truck fixed and complained about an issue. One company terminated me. That's one of the issues out there. That's with being independent. Truckers are the backbone of America. Truckers is carrying America. And if you don't believe me, open up a trailer. Truckers carry America across states. Tankers are delivering that fuel you need to run those cars that the UAW you so often bring up in the campaign are making. Cars that the average citizen or resident can't even afford now because of what happened to them before the pandemic, during the pandemic, and after the pandemic. Those of us who had decent credit, we no longer have decent credit. We can't walk in and get approved for anything. You can't take a car and put it on a dinner table to eat. But you can drive in that car to go get something to eat. And when you get to that place to go get something to eat, what do you think them hamburger meat, them buns, that restaurant equipment, even that building you pulled up to, where do you think it came from? How do you, where? How you think it came into existence? A trucker delivered the supplies and the goods for that it exists. Truckers carry America load by load, state by state. And I heard President Barack Obama mention that something that Trump said. Trump said the plant work was easy. And it is. I agree to disagree. On one end, plant work, just like trucking, is not for everybody. But actually, have you been in a plant? You stand there at your station on a line and wait for the next vehicle to come, and you assemble what you, if you're on an assigned job, is supposed to be assembling in the truck or your vehicle, the car. That's all you're doing. I can't really say it's hard work. Maybe some aspects of plant work is hard. Those ones that deal with the tires, especially if you're assembling pickup trucks like at Warren Truck Plant. Those tires, those 20-inch rims and those 20s, they heavy. But they got machinery. But you got to get the tire. But they got machinery to lift all that. Body drop. Drops the body of the car. When I was at Warren Truck Plant, body drop. I worked at body drop. Easy. All I did at body drop was put those bushings down there with the screw so you can secure the top of the vehicle to the frame. The crane dropped the body onto the frame. Easy. UAW work to me, because I was a UAW worker, and I can talk about that industry. I worked at Warren Truck Plant for 5 years. Easy. Easiest work I ever had. Easy. But plant work is not for everybody, because I have been there with new people that came in that has did that job for exactly one day, that particular day, and quit because it wasn't for them. Assembly, you got to have a knack for assembly. You got to be coordinated. You got to be time oriented, because it's both corresponds with each other. You got to do that on time. You got to get your part in, so when that next vehicle get there, you can get that next part in. But if you rushing and you're not getting it, and then that next vehicle get in, you rushing, that makes for a hard day. So assembly is something like, I can't compare it to trucking, but it's something like trucking, because it's not for everybody. But to say it's a hard job, I disagree. Because I did damn near, shit, I don't want to say every job in the plant, but they used to come get me often because I was good at assembly. They talked about protections of the union workers. Yes, all the workers need protection. Hell, some of them need protection from their own goddamn union. Like me and what happened to me at Warren Truck. Kamala Harris, I wish you could look up my court case here in the United States District Court that got dismissed. And sees my videos about what I meant to Warren Truck Plant as a worker and a UAW Local 40 member, what happened to me? Not all stories of UAW is pleasant. I was one that should have been protected, but I wasn't protected. Look what happened to me. But I'm just one out of many who may have or may have not told their story of what happened to them being a UAW worker, what they experienced, paying union dues. I wasn't protected. I'm a horror story that resulted from the UAW Local 140, working for Chrysler, which when the incident happened, they were Daimler Chrysler. Working in a plant, which was Warren Truck Plant, located on Mound Road in Warren, Michigan. 21500. I remember my union official, when I contacted him, asked me how I remember that address. That address is forever etched in my brain because of what happened to me there. 21500 Mound Road in Warren, Michigan is the location of Warren Truck Plant. The plant that did me in. Said I was crazy, said I was harassing my coworker, caused me and my son to be homeless, and sent my life into despairing hell. So when you're campaigning and they mention the UAW like they did at the campaign rally, I had mixed feelings when they started talking about it. I was actually on the stand going, because that's the way I feel when they mention UAW. Yeah, because of what happened to me. But I was working in the plant. That job is not hard. You got one job to do, and that's assemble what you're supposed to assemble in that plant. Now, there are some jobs in there that are not as easy, like when I was in there upstairs doing a harness. Now, that job is, I want to say, not hard, but you're going to end up with some bruises, scratches from the harness. Your thumbs, it's going to be hurting for pushing them pins in there to secure the harness around the body in there the way it's supposed to go. Now that job, I would say, would constitute as hard, but it ain't really hard once you get used to it. But of all the ones that I had, it was only harness, wires, and when you had to put the weather strip around the door, that you had to hit it in there the right way for it to be in there right. It took me a minute to get it. I couldn't get it. I started complaining about it. It got me. Then finally, before the day was over, I actually got it. But once you get it, it's not hard. Once you first do the job, yeah, it's hard because you got to get used to working with a vehicle that's moving on a belt. I was on the walking belt where my jobs were. So my line and the line was actually moving. Some of them are stationary, where you got to do the one only the vehicle is moving on the line and you on the cement. But I just want Kamala Harris to know that I don't want to say I get tired of hearing about the UAW, but the UAW is not the backbone of America. It keeps America mobilized. The UAW, United Auto Workers, they keep America moving with the vehicles. But if we ain't got no money to buy the vehicles, the UAW don't mean nothing to us. I was saddened when the truckers voted for Trump when they did to get him in office. But they did. He didn't do nothing for truckers. Trump didn't do anything for truckers. You have to realize, Trump only supports people who have the income that he has. Billionaires, millionaires. Truckers are not that. Some truckers, I have met a trucker that did achieve that kind of income. There's some truckers out there, they have that status. But not all truckers are millionaires. We, with our income, truckers and the income generally do not fall in the classification of what Trump would consider somebody he would help. I would love to hear about what they're going to do for truckers. I retired out of the industry because it became too stressful and I needed to take care of my health issues that was occurring because I was in the industry. When I got over in that industry, that's when I started experiencing high blood pressure, the weight gain, the stress. Ended up in debt. How's something I love? I ended up in more debt, with more debt than in money from the industry. And it shouldn't be that way. You shouldn't be doing something you love as a job and you end up in more debt because of what you're doing with that job and what you need for as equipment to function than more income from the job. But I did in trucking because of the nonsense that goes on in trucking that nobody really talks about. Nobody knows about it until somebody mentions it. But let's not forget the truckers. You wouldn't have anything around here without a trucker. You wouldn't have no tissue to wipe your nose. You wouldn't have no frames for your glasses. You couldn't buy no hoodies to make your t-shirts you selling on TikTok. You wouldn't have this cup for church's chicken. You wouldn't have no cans for... You know how many empty cans I delivered for beer companies? How many beer loads I done? I done delivered empty cans and full cans. You wouldn't have none of this. No paper towel. Ladies wouldn't have no purses, no wallets. Men, no wallets. You would not have anything without a goddamn trucker. The apartment you stay in, the bricks that build it, the steel frame of it, you would not be in that building. That building would not exist if it was not for a trucker, a flatbed driver who brought that shit there so it can be built. Lowe's and Home Depot, your gardening supplies, these rakes and forks and riding lawn mowers and all this wonderful stuff, equipment you need to beautify your home. Thank a trucker. Truckers are the most important part of this economy. Because if we did not deliver the shit, if they did not deliver the shit, you wouldn't have nothing to buy. You wouldn't need to go to work because you wouldn't have supplies at your job. Where you think that printing paper come from? Where your desk come from? That chair? That door to the ladies' and men's bathroom? The doors to where them toilets come from? Where them sinks and pipes come from? Them lights y'all turn on in the office. Where that shit come from? A trucker brought it in as supplies that they needed to build that building, to get it operational, so you can go sit your ass in there and get hired and make a check every Friday. UAW members are not, and I repeat, not the backbone of America. It's truckers. Thank a trucker for everything you have. I've delivered to Walmart distribution centers. I've delivered to Targets. I've delivered to everything. That washing powder, I done picked up Tide, washing powder, baking soda, cookies. I done picked up everything. high value loads, computers, them cell phones you got. Truckers brought that shit in for you to buy. Thank a trucker. Truckers, let's get this straight. Truckers make America great. Not Trump. Not the White House. Not the UAW. Truckers make America great because truckers bring in what you need to make America great. For people to buy, to finance, to grow the economy. Truckers bring that shit in. It wouldn't be no White House without the truckers. Wouldn't be no Oval Office. Wouldn't be no flags. Wouldn't be no flagpole. If it wasn't for a flatbed trucker bringing that shit in, dry van, bringing your White House meals in there that y'all eat, food, reefers, refrigerated trucking division, eggs, milk, butter, bacon, steaks, chicken. Truckers bring that in. Beef, hamburger. Dry van, that's me. Cereal, sugar, bread, cookies, all your snacks, gum, cigarettes, your habits. Yes, we deliver your habits. Cigarettes, liquor, beer, wine. We deliver that shit. Truckers make America great. Not Trump. Not the government. Damn, not the UAW. Truckers make America great. Because without a trucker, you wouldn't have what you have today. I hope this reaches Kamala Harris. And I hope when she becomes president that they remember the truckers. They do something for the truckers to help the truckers. Because Trump, when he was in office, didn't do shit. So once again, I retired out of the industry. I can go back anytime when I get myself right. I'm a trucker. I'm going to always be a trucker, even though I'm not on a semi anymore. But I'm always a trucker. I was good at what I do. Trucking is a dangerous job. Now, you want to talk about something that ain't easy. Trucking ain't easy. We got to go down dangerous mountains. We got to travel with that load through all kind of weather. We've been out there with hurricanes, tornadoes, storms, snow, ice. Some of them ain't made it. Some truckers didn't make it. Now, you want to talk about a job that ain't easy, that's dangerous, that's trucking. If you ain't got nothing to eat, and a trucker don't bring nothing in to eat for you to buy to go eat, where you gonna get something to eat? Wouldn't be no need for no fast food restaurant, no Coney Island, because there won't be no hot dogs, no beans for no chili, none of that. You won't have none of that. Them shopping bags, them shopping carts y'all got. Where you think they come from? Them uniforms, police uniforms, worker uniforms, them steel-toe boots, work gloves, safety equipment, helmets and vests. Where you think that shit come from? A trucker. Truckers make America great. Truckers carry America across states. Thank a trucker. You can't put no UAW nothing on the table and feed your family. That's what them checks do from working at the plant. But that shit you building at the plant can't put nothing on the table if we can't afford what you building. We don't have the money to maintain what you building. All this high shit we paying for. Can't nobody afford that shit. And that pandemic made it worse. But I want everybody to remember. And I want, when they mention a trucker, it's like we're an everyday job. Trucking ain't for everybody. That is a skill like no other. You got to know what you're doing. You got to know how to drive that rig. You got to know how to handle that rig when you're in the mountains, when you're on ice, when you're on snow. When we bringing that shit to you, I had a load of ice cream. Where do you think the ice cream come from? You think the plant making that and you driving up your car going getting ice cream? No. We delivering that shit. Truckers bringing that shit in. That Jello, that peanut butter, them crackers, all that lovely shit you have. Even this hair. The hair industry. Where do you think that shit come from? Trucks bringing that shit in by boxes. Pants, drawers, socks, shoes. I had a load of Nike when I was out there in trucking. Nike shoes. We bringing that shit in. It wouldn't be no Nike store if you couldn't have no shoes. Where the shoes come from? Nike ain't building them shoes and bringing them to the store in their car. It's truckers. So I hope when Kamala Harris become president, her administration remember the truckers and realize that if it wasn't for truckers, the economy wouldn't exist. You wouldn't have any buildings, no food, no supplies, no medical equipment. You wouldn't have shit. So thank a trucker. And in advance from me, from my time out there, you're welcome. This from Dirty Trucking. Y'all have a good night now.